Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Batman. We all know who he is, because everyone is at least familiar with a piece of Batman media. Whether it's the comics, movies, TV shows, games, or merchandise, you can pretty much find anything that has Batman branding on it because he's just that recognizable of a character. But with every iconic piece of Batman media out there in the world, there's been some pieces of Batman media that have been forgotten about or have fallen into obscurity, with plenty of examples like Mogo the Bat-Ape, Bob Kane's original design before Bill Finger came along and created the Batman design we all know and love, the original Lego Batman movie, and some unofficial stuff like that one Andy Warhol film and the Lost Filipino film. Now I could go on and on about Batman and explain why I've been in love with the character since I was like 6 years old, but I just want to talk about an obscure Batman video game that I hear absolutely no one talk about. Which is why I'm deciding to talk about Batman for the PC Engine in a new series called The Import Show. A series where I talk about video games that never saw a release in North America. So before I talk about the game, I think it's best for me to tell you what exactly the PC Engine is. The PC Engine, or TurboGrafx-16 in North America, was a 16-bit video game console released in Japan by NEC and Hudson Soft in 1987. The system would go on to become very successful in Japan. Hell, it even put up a decent fight with Nintendo's Famicom for a little while. And the system itself even outsold the Sega Mega Drive in the region. However, the same cannot be said in North America, because the PC Engine, which got renamed to the TurboGrafx-16, was a massive failure over here, with a lot of games remaining Japanese exclusive. Now in general, the TurboGrafx and PC Engine does have good games for the system, like Bonk's Adventure, Air Zonk, and Castlevania Rondo of Blood. However, a lot of games are super rare, and are worth a lot of money just to own an original copy, so that's why I recommend you just emulate them, even if you're getting into the PC Engine like myself. So anyways, back to talking about Batman. Now it comes as a surprise to me that Batman for the PC Engine never came out in North America, for whatever reason. It was most likely due to the disappointing sales of the Turbo in North America, or the fact that the game isn't a 2D side-scroller like the other Batman games released during this time. So I thought about playing Batman on PC Engine to see if the game is good or not, and if it's worthy of being a hidden gem for the console. So Batman on the PC Engine was developed and published by Sunsoft, and was released in late 1990 for none other than the PC Engine. So in the game, you of course play as Batman, with the game being played in this top-down view similar to games like Bomberman. Yeah, I know this game being top-down will make some people automatically assume this is a Bomberman ripoff. But besides the top-down perspective maze-like gameplay, Batman on PC Engine is absolutely nothing like Bomberman. Because instead of dropping bombs to kill your enemies, PC Engine Batman is about collecting every single item in the stage, with there being a counter showing you the amount of items you need to collect on the bottom right corner. The items for the most part include chemical canisters, briefcases, a bag full of jacks, and these boxes with jack-o'-lanterns on them. Oh, you can also find these power-ups in every stage, like the boots, which allow Batman to walk much faster because he's such a slow bastard when you start the game. The star power-up is basically the same as in Mario, because the star makes you invincible for a brief period of time. The L box allows you to throw your batarangs at a much farther distance, and the triple batarang allows you to throw 3 batarangs all at once. Now batarangs are your only form of attack, and you can't move when you throw them, which could leave you vulnerable to being killed by an enemy. You press both buttons on the controller to throw your batarangs at these Joker goons, which are the only enemies in this game. Just the same mimes you attack over and over again. However, there are these green and possibly radioactive mimes that charge towards you once you're in their sight. There's also these mimes that carry guns around and fire little tiny bullets towards Batman. because I assumed the Joker was limited on guns. Actually, now that I think about it, why are the bad guys strictly mimes in this game anyways? I mean, the Joker's goons only dressed like mimes for that one scene in the movie. I think, because I haven't seen this movie in years, okay? Plus the goons mostly wore jackets with sunglasses. Hey, wait a sec. So anyways, when you throw your battering at an enemy, they briefly become stunned, which allows you to walk towards the enemy and defeat them, which results in the enemies flying off the screen for some reason, similar to something like Super Smash Bros. For example. However, the mimes do end up respawning after a short period of time, because you gotta remember, Batman doesn't kill. Am I right, Zack Snyder?
What about that time when Batman Returns?
Shh, we don't talk about that. Plus, you don't want the cultists to win any arguments, now do you, Zack? So anyways, there's also these bombs that completely wipe out every single enemy for a brief period of time, which allows you to just walk around the stage without any mimes getting in your way. Now, despite being basically almighty powerful from gaining all the power-ups, you still die from one hit, with there being 3 lives and thankfully unlimited continues. However, a downside to getting a game over is that you lose all of your power-ups when you continue, with Batman resetting the snail's pace and throwing that slow-ass battering all over again, because I assumed the people at Sunsoft didn't want the game to be too easy. But anyways, if you decide to quit playing the game and go touch some grass, you're given a password that allows you to continue from the stage you left off on. The password system itself is honestly pretty interesting, because it's just the sprites of Batman and the Joker in completely different directions. Damn, this password system must be a bitch for people who can't draw. But then again, you could just write down which direction and which character is on the screen. And plus in today's age, you could just screenshot or Google the passwords, which is what I decided to do to get to the other stages in the game. Because the game itself could get very repetitive. All you're doing is the same stuff over and over again, and it could get very boring. But hey, at least the environments and backgrounds change to what I assume are either museums, art galleries, to the Gotham City streets with cars driving by, as well as Ace Chemicals with actual different enemies. And look, it's the regular Joker goons you see in the movie. Oh yeah, there's also a password to view a very neat and nifty cutscene. So what you gotta do is go to the password screen and tap up 29 times on each 4 characters until they're all Batman facing right. And I'm honestly surprised that there are cutscenes in this game, because this is very impressive for being on a standard Hue card and not on the PC Engine CD. So props to the fine folks at Sunsoft for making this work on the PC Engine. You deserve a big thumbs up. Anyways, the music is also another thing that changes throughout the game, as what most games should do, of course. And my god, is this music actually pretty good. I mean, it's pretty catchy, and hey look, they remade the first level theme from the NES game. Just take a listen for yourself. Speaking of the NES game, maybe I should review it, and maybe some other DC games, wink wink. So yeah, the music is really good, and I can definitely understand why the PC Engine and its sound chip / music has its fans. And I'm definitely becoming one of them after playing this and like 3 other PC Engine games. So by the end of the game, you arrive in a cathedral similar to the ending of the movie and Lego Batman the video game. However, in this game, You fight this guy who does this dash attack that's sorta similar to that one move Kano does in Mortal Kombat. Eventually, you have to push him down this hole that appears during the battle, and once you defeat him, you finally face off against the Joker near the edge of the balcony. Joker's only form of attack includes shooting you and throwing his chattering teeth, which are actually bombs, believe it or not. So by the end of the battle, you straight up knock the Joker off the balcony. Wait, what? Okay, so in the movie, the Joker slips after trying to escape, which results in him falling to his death. But in this game, he straight up gets pushed off the balcony 1939 style by a batarang. So in the end, we see the bat signal being shined with a long shot of a building that ends with Batman standing on top of the building looking at the bat signal in Gotham City, with the credits rolling. Also, we get a shot of the Joker's corpse after the credits are done. So in the end, Batman for the PC Engine is generally just a pretty okay game. It's definitely worthy of being a hidden gem for the console, as I said earlier in this review. However, the game itself could get very repetitive, and it does have its flaws. But if you're just looking for a hidden gem to play on a lazy afternoon, or are just curious about this obscure game's existence on a system that not many people have played, I'd recommend giving it a try. However, the only option for you to play it is on an emulator, because this game is in the 100 zones on eBay. The game also has no results and prices on videogamepricecharting.com, as well as having no results on sites like Japan Retro Direct. This might have something to do with the game's obscurity, or because the game probably did not sell very well in Japan. But besides all of that, I'd still recommend you giving it a try, if you're a Batman fan like myself, or if you're getting into the PC Engine. That's all for this episode of The Import Show. Thanks for watching.